Alright, Lions, so it's finally time for us to get around and reviewing the brand new Grimmjow, the new Demon King of the country in Cacao Society. Sometime last week we did review Aaroniero, and if you haven't already seen that, I do recommend you guys check it out to see how powerful that character is. But for today's video, we're here to demonstrate how powerful this new Grimmjow can be in Bleach Brave Souls. And as always, if you guys do enjoy these type of videos, make sure you do show support by liking the video, and let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this Grimmjow. With that said, let's have a look in the new character, Grimmjow, the Cacao Society version.
弱いやつに用はねえ。てめえはどうだろうな。
So firstly, Grimmjow is a technique ARRANCAR slash Espada with the ARRANCAR kill ability. What this means is that he's kind of fulfilling a niche that needed to be fulfilled for the most part, and while it's true we have received a few good technique ARRANCAR killers, more specifically the Christmas Aaroniero and also Arena Tsukushima, none of them were really significantly OP compared to some of the other top technique characters like Retsu and also Epic Ichigo. So having a new technique character with the ARRANCAR kill ability means he can slide it along the two top characters and not really make them redundant or make it so they make Grimmjow redundant, if that kind of makes sense. Grimmjow fulfills a niche, and it's a really important niche to be fulfilled. But looking into the character skill set, you will see a stacked amount of skills. His first one being a team slash party buff, technique attribute ARRANCAR damage to status element affected enemies plus 20%. This is very good, mainly for himself, as there aren't that many good technique ARRANCARs to, benefit from this team buff, but it is going to help Grimmjow do a tad bit more damage, especially when he does inflict the status element. He also has Bruiser plus 20%, Debilitator for 5 extra seconds, Devastation 40, a Frenzy plus 2 skill which is lovely to see, Havoc plus 20%, Sprinter plus 1, and also a Link Sword potion for both Super Link Swords and normal Link Swords. This right here, regardless of how good or bad the character is making it a very valuable character to have for IT and also IZ. But mainly Inheritance Trials, as he's the only character in the game right now to have the Super Link Sword skill. Additionally, looking at the character's innate skills, he does also have damage to weaken enemies plus 20%, guard break, and also weaken duration, which is very good. It means he's going to have that extra bit of survivability. So overall, looking at the skill set this character does have, it makes him a very powerful character, mainly due to the fact that Frenzy plus 2 is already allowing him to hit very hard. It's also allowing him to hit more times, which therefore technically increases the chance for him to inflict the status element, and also the fact that when you do inflict the status element, you are now doing 40% more damage to said enemies, which is kind of crazy, and it gets even better when you do look at the kit this character does have. His strong attack 1 is a beam forward, very similar to someone like Safui, Retsu, and 6th Anniversary Aizen, where it has a 3000 length and a 1100 width. Very, very good SA1, pretty much the best strong attack 1 in the game. As for his second strong attack, it's a vacuum vortex in front of him, ensuring that if you do use this strong attack on a bunch of enemies, there's a pretty good chance you are going to be inflicting a status element. The great thing about this strong attack 2, in my opinion, even though it's the worst part about his kit, that's not a bad thing by the way, is that the speed in which this strong attack 2 does come out is actually pretty fast. And then as for his SA3, he does have a charged strong attack, a distant AoE in front of him, and when you do fully charge that strong attack 3, you are ensuring that you are going to hit very, very hard, especially if you inflict a status element. So with these skills and the strong attacks that he does have with weakening and everything, how does this character perform in normal PvE content? So let's talk about it. So firstly, for Guild Quest, he is a character that can perform relatively good here, mainly due to the fact that Guild Quest is all about doing as much damage as possible in a very short amount of time, although he doesn't really excel in this game mode for the most part. One thing you do have to understand is that he himself is not immune to the status dominant, that being freeze, that you will see in this particular Guild Quest, the only Guild Quest he can currently be used in. But if you do position yourself quite well, you should have a pretty easy time. And that's mainly due to the fact that he does have a very high damage output, especially when inflicting a status element, that if you do use your Soul Bomb in combination with your strong attack 3, there's a pretty good chance you're either going to nuke that entire wave or go through 2 waves. So overall, this character for Guild Quest is a character that can perform quite well if you do work on him, of course, but he isn't the most ideal character. There's obviously some more better characters out there because he wasn't really designed for Guild Quest, and that's perfectly fine. But still, the option of using him is there, and it's definitely something that's worth mentioning. As for epic grades, in a very similar sense to Aaroniero, he is a character that's going to be a bonus for the entire month of April, so having him now is definitely going to be very valuable, especially because he does have the Link Sword skill. And with the damage this character can dish out, again, keep in mind, he does have a charged strong attack 3 with Frenzy plus 2, which is ensuring that it's going to hit very, very hard, especially when you do inflict a status element that you're doing 40% more damage. A lot of the runs that we were doing on the Xylopolis raid, we could clear in less than potential 10 seconds because this strong attack 3 in combination with another Grimmjow strong attack 3 just does so much damage against one particular boss, especially when you have Killer. The great thing about this Grimmjow though is that even outside of the Xylopolis epic raid, when he isn't a bonus character, he is still someone that you're going to see be used a lot because of the damage output that he does dish out, again, especially when you do inflict the weakening. But most importantly, he does have the link slot potion skill, to the point that you're probably going to see a lot of Grimmjow lobbies even outside of the Xayah Upgrade because you want to farm potions in epic raids. And because this character can do so much damage, it's a very viable strategy, and you're going to be clearing epic raids even with a 0 bonus team pretty quickly, especially when compared to a full team of Kenpachis, Uryus, and also Orohimes, who are all also Technique link slot characters. As for the arena game mode, he does perform relatively well here, and that's mainly due to the fact that he just has an overall good strong attack kit with this damage that he can dish out. He doesn't perform really exceptionally well. He wasn't really designed for this game mode, but because he is good in PvE content, he's also just naturally good enough to be used in arena. So overall, for arena, he's a relatively good character, doesn't excel in this game mode, but definitely is good enough to be used here, and any shortcomings he does have with lack of survivability, no way to stay at full stamina, maybe you're not doing enough damage, or maybe you're just dying too much, that can be fulfilled by good teammates. Whether they bring a barrier or a boost character, they can definitely support this Grimmjow to ensure he does do a lot of damage. As for IZ, because again he is a link slot character, you will be using him here quite a bit. He's pretty much one of the better options, especially when paired with someone like the Orohime, who once more is also a link slot character for the Technique attribute. Both of them perform relatively well, good strong attacks that allows you to clear content relatively quick, good damage output with that SA3 to ensure that if someone doesn't want to use their Soul Bomb, you can just use the SA3 and pretty much wipe out an entire boss wave, which is actually really nice, especially if you are someone that is hosting your own lobby where you can clear multiple waves. As for Inheritance Trials, the main game mode that you're going to be playing with this character, since he is the only super link slot character in the game for the Technique attribute, he performs pretty good actually. With a 3000 limb beam with some good width, it allows you to do a lot of damage from afar and keep yourself safe. The SA2 does provide some good crowd control, and that SA3 can pack a massive punch. Whether you're the host or someone joining, that SA3 is almost guaranteed to wipe out an entire boss, which is really nice to see. And just like Inheritance Zone, if you have a good enough team to support this character, or if you just have 4 Grimmjows, you're going to be clearing pretty quick and farming a lot of super link slot potions. So overall, how good is Grimmjow? Grimmjow, if it wasn't already clear, is very, very good. One of the best Technique characters in the game, and if you did watch my tier list video, I do rank him just below someone like Safui Retsu and also Gichigo, which isn't a bad thing. They are the 3 best characters in the game, and the great thing about all 3 characters is that they all have different killers. You use Retsu for Holo Killer, Grimmjow for ARRANCAR Killer, and then use Artbook for Sorry But No Affiliation. Having 3 of these characters in your account pretty much set you for the rest of the year in terms of good Technique characters. You don't need to use anyone else because they fill the main 4 killers, and Grimmjow fits that spot very nicely as the best Technique ARRANCAR killer in the game. He's also a very good, valuable character to have since he does have the super link slot skill and also normal link slot skill, making him very good for epic raid farming, IZ farming, and super link slot farming, which is something that not a lot of characters can say. I do have a small gripe with this character though, and do keep in mind before anyone does complain in the comments, we are really nitpicking here, and it's not the end of the world. He is still a very good character. The 2 problems I had is that 1, he is a massive glass cannon, which isn't, again, entirely a bad thing. He does a lot of damage and can clear content very fast, but he has no way to, revive himself or heal himself back up. No last ditch built into the character, and any problems that he does have, you're going to want to make sure you fulfill that with either good links, accessories, and maybe potential good teammates. Additionally, because he is a character designed for Inheritance Trials, I would have maybe liked if he was given a skill to increase the chance of fitting a stat summon, something that the other 2 super link slot characters actually have, that being the Christmas versions of Noel and Nini. So again, that's one of the small gripes I had with his character when playing IT. I would have just loved if he had that extra skill because it would have made him significantly better. Maybe if they gave that to him instead of Bruiser, which is kind of useless on this character, he would have been just even better than what he is now. Because again, that doesn't make him bad, he just could have been better if he was given that skill. And that's what I really would have liked to see get given to characters mainly designed for Inheritance Trials where you want to inflict stat summons. But nitpicking aside, he is still a very powerful character regardless, and I don't want to, disregard that. But either way, that was the review for the new Cacao Society version of Grimmjow. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Again, once more in the comments below, let me know what you like to think about this Grimmjow. If you did pull him, congratulations, and hopefully I can join that crew sometime in the future, because I don't have Grimmjow right now, but I will eventually get him. When that will happen, I'm not too sure, but it will happen somewhere later this year. With that said, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.